Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. Pleased to be joined by Tyler Brock of Brighton Boys Cross Country. How are you?
Good. How are you, Casey?
I'm doing good. Well, thanks for coming back on. Uh, this season's been going pretty well for you guys. I know some of the results that you've had may have not been what you wanted, but still, you guys have had some really good performances as it's become accustomed to with you guys since over the last few years.
Yeah, for sure. We've had a lot of guys like filling in their roles, filling in the guys who like the seniors roles that graduated, and it's looking good.
Yeah. So you're a senior now. So
hmm
can you believe that?
No, I can't. I still feel like I just joined the program. It's
Okay, so
not this well.
yeah, we were actually just talking about it before we started recording. So can you do you remember this should be fun. Take me back. Do you have one story that you remember from your first year?
hmm Well, I know like the first couple weeks of practice, I always wore a hat to practice. And then I was like, why do I wear a hat to practice? And then I stopped doing that. But I know like a story I have, it might not be that funny, but it was cool because I talked to a senior on the team at the time, Lucas Sang, and he just gave me some great advice for high school. He was like, enjoy it while you have it because before you know it, it'll be gone, and like embrace everything that you can get from high school.
Yeah, because the thing is, the year you entered high school, that was, of course, you were coming off the an eighth grade COVID year, and of
Yeah.
course coming into this where where you just spent a year wearing a mask all day and not knowing what to do, and probably getting contract traced every 6 weeks and stuff like that. Uh,
Yeah.
what was that like for you? Like to and this is just overall. Like, what was it nervous like entering in high school your first year? Like it was like, wow.
Yeah. I did all of eighth grade school online. So I hadn't really talked to people for like a year. Like I had gone to practices and stuff, but I didn't really have that much social life. And so when I got into high school, it was a lot of meeting new people and stuff, and that definitely put me outside of my comfort zone. But definitely helped me become a lot more extroverted.
Yeah. So like you talk about that, and this is kind of where you are right now. The journey that you've been on throughout your like high school time. Was it like I can't believe I did all this?
Yeah, it's definitely very surprising everything that I've done. Like I never would have expected to be up on varsity in the cross country team or become a team captain or meet all the people that I've met and go on the journey that I went on.
Okay, so obviously there's been a lot of people that have helped you out, and you mentioned Lucas Sang and all them. Well, who else was really somebody that really kind of helped you get to where you were, kid wise, not obviously not adult wise. We'll get to that later.
Okay. Yeah, I would definitely say Luke Campbell helped me a ton. He kind of took me under his wing, offered me rides and everything, and he helped me become who I am today. He helped me like do things outside of practice, become better. And yeah, he was just great influence.
Yeah, of course, Luke, a very frequent guest on this podcast. Um, Over the years, I don't know where. I believe Luke is somewhere in the state of Arizona right now. So we'll
hmm
hope you're doing well, Luke, if you're watching. Okay, so I think this year, being your senior year, of course, coming so close last year,
hmm
getting to that point, and obviously, last year, of course, had guys that um won the state title. I believe 2021 was, the
hmm
last time. I don't know how much you were. Do you remember that?
I do. Yeah. That was definitely great. I mean, I didn't really understand it. I didn't understand how much work the guys had actually put in to become state
Right.
champions, but I remember all the joy that was felt after that. And I remember it was a great day. And I definitely want to try and go for that this year.
Yeah. So I know obviously there's going to be a lot of tough competitors, and obviously you got teams like Northville, obviously Grand Haven's up there.
Mhm.
Obviously, you look at basically you look at Jennison, they return basically everybody. Um,
Yeah.
what is and of course maybe and then a bunch of other teams that maybe no one really kind of expected to be up there. But what I think is what's going to be the biggest challenge in getting to that and getting to the championship step once again for you guys.
Um, I would say just like locking in for workouts and races and stuff, and just getting back into that mentality that we're racing for the state meet and going for the state title. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I know you've had some fast time. How much have you had to step up? Because obviously, we had guys like, we had Langley and Luke Campbell and Ian and Bodie. Uh,
Mhm.
but those guys are gone. And obviously, you guys got to fill in and replace them. Um, but what's that been like to kind of step up to that challenge? Because it's like, it's the Brighton doesn't rebuild, they reload. They've done it consistently every year.
Mhm.
What has that been like to kind of, look at see that and, really step up to that big challenge?
It's been like a lot different than I thought it would be, and I have to step up now. And I've led a couple races, stuck up towards the front, and it's a lot different than it was last year. But it feels good to kind of bring the guys with me and step into the role that Luke and Langley had last year.
I know we mentioned in the beginning, and this is kind of going to tie all into what we talked about in the beginning and stepping out of your comfort zone a little bit.
Mhm.
You're feeling like you're stepping out of it more and becoming you're one of the captains of the team. What was that like for you to get that? And did you have to realize and say, okay, now I am this person. Maybe I need to continue my progression toward being the leader and could help you set up for something later on down the road in your career.
Yeah, it was definitely a big role, and I've embraced it, and I love talking to all the guys and leading stretches and core and workouts and such. And I mean, I'm very happy that I was voted captain, and it's been great filling in that role.
Yeah. Okay. So I know that everybody has their own little thing that they do before a race. Um, the thing is, I compare runners to like MLB pitchers or pitchers overall.
Mhm.
Everyone is so, everyone just goes into their own world and does their own thing. Like,
Mhm.
what do you do?
Um, well, I definitely have a lot more of like a food aspect of what I do before. Like I'll have spaghetti pie usually the night before, and then I'll have like pancakes or waffles for breakfast the day of. And then I obviously try to drink water throughout the day. And then I know a lot of people listen to music before they race, but I don't really do that. I like to just get a feel for the course and yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, random question: IHOP or Waffle House? Have you been to either of them?
I've been to IHOP, but it's been a long time.
Yeah. I've been to IHOP and Waffle House. There's no Waffle Houses here in Michigan, but there is. The
Oh
closest
yeah,
one is down in Toledo, and
it's good.
it
Okay.
is. If you go down south anytime, go down to one of them. So,
Okay.
um, but overall, like, I know that you've had a lot of big races this year.
Hmm.
You got a couple big ones coming up.
Hmm.
Because we're getting close to once we get to October, it's really go time because conferences are going to be here, and then you got regionals, and then the state meet's going to be right around the corner, and then season's going to be done.
Yeah.
So just what's kind of the approach that you guys are taking for really the next really really month and a few weeks.
I think we'll be taking it like one step at a time, one race at a time, and like see how each race goes, what we can do better and improve upon. And then when championship season comes around, just gotta lock in and do what we do best.
Yeah.
Race.
Um, yeah. Okay, so I know we got to know you a little bit last time you were on here, but I feel like we need to get to know you some more. How about that?
Okay.
Okay, so outside of school, outside of running, what do you like to do?
Hmm. I like to swim. Uh, I like to bike ride. And then I have a hobby which might sound a little bit crazy, but I collect phones and tablets and such. And so I have like a phone collection. I like to repair phones, take them apart and such. So
Interesting. Well, the thing is, everybody has their like um own like, you know, I've realized that over time when you meet a lot of people, you learn that everyone's got this thing, and it's always interesting just see that. By the way, are you getting the new iPhone?
I would like to, but I currently have the 15 Pro Max, so I don't know if it's worth the upgrade,
Yeah.
but I mean, I like it. It's not too big of a difference though from the 15. So maybe I'll wait a couple versions more.
Okay. Um, let's see. Outside like favorites, do you have a like do you like have a favorite, are you like a big sports guy, or do you okay. All right,
I'll watch the Super Bowl.
was not I didn't watch the Super Bowl last year.
Really?
No, no.
Oh,
Um, okay. What's your like go-to place for food? Like this could be anything. Like this could be just out and about. Like,
um, I would say I like Subway a lot. Subway has some really good subs and such. And then we have a tropical smoothie right next door. So one of those two. I love the food from both of those.
I know exactly where I know exactly what spot you're talking about.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. You know, when you're from when you know the area so well, you kind of know you know.
Uh-huh.
Um, okay. Favorite movie.
I like dystopian type of movies. So I'd say something, gosh, like, well, I like dystopian, but there's also some really good classics. Um, I like About Time is the movie name. That
Yeah,
one's got a really good message.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and finally, what's an interesting fact people may not know about? I mean, actually, I think you just kind of said it,
Yeah.
with the phone collection and all that. But let me ask this. Do you what kind of what do you what's the weirdest one in your collection? What's the most interesting one that you have?
I have I have some original iPhones which are pretty cool. And then I also have some phones. I have a phone that my friend lost at Mount Brighton and it's really mangled because the snow groomer ran over. So like the phone is bent like in
Yeah,
half.
yeah.
So maybe one of those two.
Interesting. All right.
Yeah,
You know, those could be worth something one day.
yeah, maybe.
All right. Well, Tyler, thank you so much for the time as always, and best of luck the rest of the season. And let's have you on again sometime, maybe to recap the year.
Thank you. Sounds good.